Hello everyone, my name is Alejandra Lopez. Today I will present the Unit 4 time series assignment for the data visualization class with Professor Carrie Beam for UMGC. I'll present the global COVID-19 positive cases and death from January 21st, 2020 to April 29, 2022. This dataset is provided by Tableau and is collected from the Center for System Science and Engineering of Johns Hopkins University. This information will be included in my references at the end of the presentation. Because in these datasets the analysts recorded data points at consistent intervals over January 2020 and April 2022, we were able to elaborate a time series analysis. I chose this dataset because I believe that what happened with the first virus was incredible. It impacted millions of lives and marked the history of humanity. So let's see how the coronavirus impacted the world population. In this first visualization, we observe the cumulative global positive cases for continent. By the end of April 2022, Europe is the continent with more positive cases with over 194 million. On the other hand, Oceania is the continent with less cases with barely 7 million, only 3.6% of the value of Europe. In the second visualization, we could observe the new positive cases for continent by the end of April 2022. Europe is the continent with more new positive cases. On the other hand, Africa is the continent with less positive cases. In addition, we observe a forecast for the following 4 quarters, where I use a linear trend line. As we observe, Tableau is forecasting a steady linear amount for all continents for all quarters. Even though the confidence level in Tableau is 95% for this forecast, I have low confidence in this forecast because I believe that the values would not be this steady. Instead, they will decrease over time. I believe this because over time we have more knowledge about the virus and how to take measures to avoid it. Next, we have the cumulative global death per continent. We could observe how many deaths the pandemic left after 16 months. By the end of April 2022, America is the continent with more deaths with over 2.7 million. On the other hand, Oceania is the continent with less deaths with only over 10,000, less than 0.4% of the value of America. It is important to mention that only the 1.78% of positive cases in America resulted in death. 0.95% of positive cases in Europe resulted in death. 2.1% of positive cases in Africa resulted in death. 0.96% of positive cases in Asia resulted in death. And 0.15% of cases in Oceania resulted in death. In the next visualization, we have the new death per continent, where we could observe how the peak of the majority of the continents, where the majority of the death by continents were late 2020 and early 2021. By the end of April 2022, America is a continent with more deaths with over 280,000. On the other hand, Oceania is a continent with less deaths with over 4,000. I use Tableau to make a forecast using a linear trend line, and Tableau forecasts the following 4 quarters. The values for all the continents except Asia have a steady value. The confidence level in Tableau is 95% for this forecast, and I have confidence in this forecast because the value forecasts are lower than the previous registered. Yet, I don't believe the values would be this steady in all quarters. In conclusion, as we observed with several visualizations, the world was marked and impacted. There were 512 million positive cases registered and over 6 million deaths all around the world. It definitely impacted humankind. Thank you for watching.